Welcome back, everybody, to the Wild Faith Podcast. My name is Evan Bungham, and I have my co-host Luke Timmons with me here today. And I'm assuming that Rogan is somewhere in the room with you right now. And this is our other special guest. Maybe he'll make a surprise appearance here. But
Rogues,
get him in here. There he is.
Oh, yeah.
The man of the hour himself. So today we're going to be talking about a short film that we're dropping on Rogan and kind of the story and the funny stories that we have behind it with the filming of it all. And we're really excited to kick this one off, being that this is our first short film, and we worked with some awesome people, and we have a fun giveaway that we're going to talk about at the end of it to kind of help get the video off the ground. So without further ado, Rogan and Luke, how are you doing?
We're doing good. Like you know, when you said he's never too far from my side. He's a big baby. But yeah, no, we're doing good. It's his least favorite time of the year because there's no hunting to be done and there's lots of baths, and he's not a big bath guy. Like as soon as we come inside and he knows he's muddy. He's like a kid. But he'll just take his collar, just kind of guide him into the bathroom, or just carry him in there if he's super muddy, because we have a split. So
sure.
Yeah, he's not a big bath guy.
Tell you what, I love copper and honey. So if people don't know, we have a miniature dachshund, golden color, and then we have a golden retriever who's similar color, and they both went viral. How long was that? That was 3 years ago. They had a viral video, so we'll have to maybe overlay that. But they both are long hairs. Obviously, the golden is, but like they hold water when they take baths, and it takes forever for both of them to dry out. So that's what I was going to say. Like, I wish I had a lab or a short-haired dog where it's just like, oh, wet, oh, dry, all right.
yeah. I don't know if I'll ever go away from a lab.
Great dogs. That's all I grew up with.
Pretty good. I mean, they're just like, good family dog, good hunting dog. They're good stuff. And this one's a big old baby. But
so tell me a little bit about how, like we're kind of just outlining it for you. We're just going to talk about kind of how you and Rogan came to be and how you guys got Rogan, and just maybe a little bit about your guys' training regiment, and we'll save the rest for you guys to go watch the short film. But I want to be able to give people just a little bit of context on just this relationship that you guys have kind of curated over the years, because I think it's pretty special.
Yeah. I mean, we went, Jen and I, before we were married, decided we wanted to get a dog, and kind of just started looking at, breeders around the kind of southern Minnesota, Wisconsin, that area kind of stuff, and found one. And we went, reached out to the lady, and she's like, yep, we got 2 black lab males available. And we went down there actually for a different one, and he actually had a umbilical cord little hernia, not anything major. I don't even think they actually need to like fix them, but it was like, first dog on my own. Do I really want to deal with something else? And she's like, well, the other black lab's still available. And old Vinny, he's laying in his bed now, but Vinny was his puppy name. And so it was I'm
gonna start calling him that now.
Yeah, she'll probably just look at you like, what? You can give me a treat? But yeah, so it was just kind of like, that was it. We went down there, and the litter that he was from was an oops litter, so we got him a clearance pup.
Nice.
One of their males accidentally got into the female side of the kennel, and had some fun, I guess. But lucky for us, because like I said, we got him clearance pup, and he's been everything and more that I could hope for, and not only just a family dog, but a hunt dog too. And with the training side, I bought Tom Dawkins, I can't remember the title of the book, but it's got a black lab on the cover. It's like all around Labrador Retriever training.
Sure.
Kind of go from when they're a pup all the way through, to some advanced stuff. Started trying to do some of that. Of course, we got him like January time frame. And so it was just snow. Well, it's like, oh, this is fun. And so once, got closer to springtime, I kind of looked at like, because I knew people would like send their dog off to get
Mm-hmm.
trained at a kennel or something. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. It's not for me because I want to know I want to learn kind of thing too.
Yeah.
And so reached out to the Three Arrows Game Farm down by Grand Meadow here in southeastern Minnesota. Talked to Ben Jacobson for a bit and just kind of was like, this is what got going on. He's like, yep, we got a spring and summer program. It's Wednesday nights, Saturday mornings every week. Come on down. So we did, and like I said, it was starting at the basics, like literally just putting him on um, they just had a chain line, basically hook him up to the chain, and as a pup, that they just go nuts. They just start running around,
Mm-hmm.
just fighting it, and then it's working with some little figure eight rope kind of muzzle things. You just kind of put it on them when they're being naughty. As soon as they are good, you take it off. So then they get. It's just like I said, you're just building
Yeah.
that foundation. So it's doing that stuff. They start to quickly. Like I talked about in the video a little bit, but like lucky for me, like he's picked up on everything so easy. Whether it was that, whether it was, um, you know, getting him to sit on a e-collar, just
Mm-hmm.
just to vibrate, just vibrate it once, and he's getting older and more stubborn in his age, so sometimes it's a little more of a longer vibrate, but he still does it, so stuff like that he just picked up on so quick. What else? Oh, force fetch. I mean, that was like a 2-week process. I know sometimes it
Sure.
could be a struggle, but for him it was like done.
Easy.
And so yeah, and a lot of bird work, a lot of just messing things up and going back to the basics. And I think with like dog training, it's like anything, you mess something up, you go back to what you can get right, and then pause, and then just take a minute.
So tell me, like, what were, just for people listening that maybe are getting a new dog or
Mhm.
have a young dog, like, what were some of those tools or like things that you use to help train Rogan?
I mean, a lot of guidance from Ben. He prescribes to I think it's Ronnie Smith. It's the whole Rick Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Delmar, I think, is the original kind of methodology of training dogs, and there's a lot more of that goes into like pointing stuff, but it's kind of universal, most of it.
Sure.
But it's just like you get the reason I want to do it this way, where I went along with the training and stuff and didn't set him off, is for one, I'd miss the dog. I'm
Yeah.
a sap a little bit too, and so but it's just like you got to be able to read your dog. You got to be able to know, like we would do like working on the whoa posts where getting him to sit on that stimulus. So it's you're pulling on his he's got a rope kind of tied to his back, and he's
Mm-hmm.
got the rope on his collar, and you're pulling, and as you pull, it pulls his butt down.
Hmm.
Well, as soon as he would like when like a dog will yawn or blink or like you know kind of that stuff, it's
Yeah.
kind of like them accepting it. Or like if they lay down and they turn away from you, it's kind of like giving you kind of the middle finger. And so it's like stuff like that.
Giving you
I
the
would
bird.
I would never know, but it's like if you're gonna if you really want a good hunting dog, you have to put in the time.
Yeah.
You and I have been with plenty of guys that are like, yeah, I got a great dog, and you get out there and you're like,
Oh
oh
boy.
boy.
Yep.
And nothing bad about that. Like if
Yeah.
that's what you want out of your dog, great. But you know, don't bring him around next time.
Yep.
But no, I mean it's one of those things where it's like, you got to put in. It's like anything. It's like being healthy. It's like being a good husband, being a good dad. It's you got to put in the time. You got to put in the hours. You're gonna mess up, but you just got to maintain that course. And I mean, as far as like what I use with him now, it's pretty much just the sport dog e-collar and a bunch of dummies. I got a dummy launcher from I don't even know who makes it. Just shoots a little. You've seen it with the plunger. It's got that
Yep.
22 blank in there, and that's nice to kind of work on, steady to shot and all that stuff. But like, don't listen to anything I say because I'm just brushing over a lot of the bullet points. There's hours and hours and years that have gone. I mean, he's
Yeah.
going to be 8 this year, so I mean, there's a lot of time put into him. But it's one of those things. Whatever you put into him is what you're going to get out of him. So
Yeah.
it's been fun. We've gone on a lot of adventures, a lot of hunts, and a lot of memories along the way.
Could you maybe just tell us maybe like one or two of your favorite memories that you guys have had along the way?
Hunting,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, there's been a lot. I would say, yeah, it's like with me, it's just I get a lot. Like I get like most of my enjoyment from just watching him work a field, work a bird. But the number one that sticks out in my head is he caught a pheasant once, and I was like,
That's pretty
beforehand
cool.
I was telling Jenna she was along, and I was like, I'm like, he's gonna catch one of these. She's like, there's no way. And I'm like, probably not, but he's been close on a couple of hens now, and goes into like the thickest, nastiest part of this property. Comes out right on the other side, and it's got this rooster in his mouth that's obviously still alive because I didn't shoot, and just grinning ear to ear. He's probably two maybe when he did that, and so that one's
That's
up
awesome.
there. Getting him out to South Dakota, that was a lot of fun. You know, we def you know we definitely overworked him. I'll be honest. It was
Hmm.
my dad and brothers and I and him. We easily could have used another couple
Two.
guys and
Yeah.
then another probably couple dogs. But live and learn. It was he'd be passed out all from when we got to the hotel to the
Yep.
next morning, and be like, you good? And it's like as soon as threw the brush guard vest thing on him,
Yep.
put the collar on. That's another thing too, is like going back to like kind of some just tactics or whatever you want to call it. Don't use the collar as like a punishment. Use it as put even if even if you're just taking your dog out for a walk or taking your dog out to crap in the yard, whatever it is, they start to associate that with, oh, I get to go outside, I get to go do something fun, and then
Hmm.
it's like they're not scared of it, right? So
Yeah.
little, I don't know, quick tip there, but
That's a good one.
yeah, I mean those two stick out, and then just all sorts of different waterfowl, going over to Milwaukee with Eric and doing Goose Fest out there, just kind of, I mean, you're on the gamut doing all sorts of fun stuff, and then as we've had two boys now, seeing him interact with the boys is fun, and having them play with them. John still won't put like let him take the tree out of his hand. He's like, he'll do like try to get him to like tell him to sit, and then if Rogan tries to take it like out of his hand, he'll just like throw it on the ground. Like, no,
That's
I'm good.
that's funny.
Yeah, but it's fun. He's a big old baby, but when the time comes to pull the old shotgun out of the cabinet and load up in the truck, it's like you can tell in his eyes, he's got the big sappy, lab eyes, and then they just pin
Hmm.
eyed, just ready to go when it's go time.
So throughout the years, then, and obviously, like you said, Rogan's going to be 8, and actually, him and Copper are the same age. They're actually a couple of weeks apart, I think, technically. But like, what have you done for his regiment for like health? I know you give him treats and you give him pheasant hearts and stuff like that, which I think is pretty cool. But like, has
Oh
there been
yeah.
anything else that you've done?
Yeah, the pheasant heart, that's a funny one because actually Fritz, one of my buddies from lacrosse, he's got a golden that great hunting dog too, and he put me onto that little fun one. But literally anytime we shoot pheasants and start cleaning them up at the house, he's like sitting right
Waiting.
next to me, just looking at me like, I am getting those. Like those are mine. I did all the work. But yeah, so I'll give him a duck heart too. Um, Goose heart's pretty big, so maybe just one of those. But yeah, those are little snacks for him. As far as treats go, I usually do try to do something. Not, I don't give him any rawhides or any of that
Like,
stuff.
if you've been pretty strict like on
Yeah,
his diet for what he eats.
yeah, yep. I'll give him. We use a Nookshuk. I think it's their 30-20 blend.
Hmm.
I know a lot of guys hunting guy, like Dave Stover with Fit Point. That's what he uses. A lot of
Yep.
sled dog teams use that stuff. So, great, great. We've used Perino Pro Plan before that. Didn't have any issues there. Just had a buddy. He's like, hey, you should try this. Tried it. He's been on it for 4 or 5 years now and love it.
Nice.
So, as far as treats go, like I love having Greek yogurt and berries with a little bit of honey at night instead of like
Hmm.
sneaking some ice cream. That's
It's the
my
best.
go-to. Yeah, frozen berries, just kind of mixed berry blend. I'll throw a handful of berries to him, and just
Nice.
every once in a while. And, I give him treats here and there, but nothing too crazy. It's just like us. If you give him
Oh yeah.
if you eat a bunch of potato chips and junk food, you're going to be fat and lazy. So I try to
Well,
keep
and I
him,
think especially too, like the older dogs get, like their diet
yeah.
gets to be more and more essential. Especially, you're talking about
Hmm.
joints and you're talking about ligaments
Yep.
and just kind of getting to the health of that. And if that's giving them full eggs, raw eggs, going through the whole gamut of this,
Hmm.
the natural stuff that you can give them that are beneficial.
Yeah, yep. And I started using Alpha Dog the last couple years here, and they're a
Okay.
nutrition brand out of Wisconsin. Um, and basically, I shove a pill down his throat each day. It's like one of those things like he don't care. It's whatever. But I use their joint lubrication bundle, I think it's called. So it's their free
Okay.
range, and then that's just like a powder that you just kind of put
Hmm.
over their food, and that's good, for their joints, paws, whatever ligaments, that kind of stuff. And then the vitality is heart healthy, their coat, coat and skin kind of stuff. I know there's some omega 3s in there and stuff, but yeah, I mean, I try to keep him as healthy as possible because like you said, he's getting older, so it's important to keep up with all that stuff. And I can't run him as hard. Like I do like getting out and running myself, and I'd go on 8-10 mile runs with him, and now it's like I don't want to burn him out too much, so I'll just save those quick two milers or 3 milers now with him. But
Nice. So
yeah,
tell me a little bit more about kind of the coming of this short film that we
mm,
put together.
what do you mean?
Well, just tell me like why we decided to do this, and obviously, it's solely focused on Rogan and just kind of the history behind it, and
Hmm.
just telling that story.
I think that's kind of exactly like what you just said. Is you and I are talking kind of different ideas we had, and we kind of came up with this one, and yeah, I mean, I like to think we have a cool story. Hopefully, everyone else does when they watch the film. But yeah, and for me, it's something I get to cherish for the rest of my life, even when
Hmm.
he's gone, and the boys get to, and Jen does too. And so, you get to see. It's cool to see your dog in action, not only in the field but kind of on the big screen. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a fun story. Kind of going through the whole gamut of from when he's a pup to now and everything in between, and kind of growing up as a man myself. We got him before we had kids. Got him
Hmm.
before we were married and stuff too, and so he's been there from the beginning, really. And that's part of the whole thing is just like that dog you get in your early 20s is the dog you grow up with. So it's been a fun ride, and like I said, he's getting up there. The gray's starting to kind of come through a little bit, but he's still amped and ready to go. So
That's good.
we got for sure we got a lot more adventures in our future.
That's right. Well, that's
Oh
good. And like I said, this film is something that we honestly we probably took all of, I don't know, 7 months putting it together and just
yeah,
kind of collaborating on different
storyboarding and
shoot dates and how we wanted to really approach this and the message we wanted to tell, because I really do think this film isn't just solely focused for the hunting community and the hunting dogs. I really think that anybody that loves dogs and loves animals, this is really going to resonate with you, because like you said, this is kind of that piece of where it's like that first dog you get in life, I feel like is one that not that you forget about your other dogs as time goes on, but it's like it's really important. It's like that first kid that you get, it really changes your mindset and outlook on life and how
mhm.
life is. And I mean, it's your best friend, and like and I was honored to be able to go through and be able to help and be
Oh,
a part of this, because it was an emotional roller coaster, and it was really fun. And we had a lot of fun filming it. We had a couple of mishaps with stuff and with
oh,
with timing, and that's a story. I mean, we could talk about that too. We were on one of our last shoot days in like middle of December,
Mm-hmm.
And we got done filming out in this piece, and we wanted to roll into one other piece just to get some sunset shots. And we poor Rogan, we both bailed out of the truck. We were in Luke's truck, and all
Oh,
of a sudden we hear this click, and we're like, we both look at each other because we both got out of the car, and we're like, oh no. And doors were locked on the truck.
keys
Logan
in it.
or Rogan's locked in the truck. Phones are in the truck,
Mm-hmm.
and we are probably a mile and a half away from anybody.
Yeah.
And
Well, from
lucky,
anyone that we knew, yeah.
yeah. And we're so lucky that we had a neighbor from back home that actually was literally driving by as it happened. We had to like run down the road to wave him
Flag it
down.
down.
And Rogan wasn't there for that long. I think we were able to get some lockout kit tools within 45 minutes, got him out of the truck, finished filming what we wanted to do, and got on the way. But that was just part of the roller coaster. It's like, man, we just got to get these last couple of shots and we're going to be good. And it was funny.
Yeah, I hate to say that wasn't the first time I've locked my keys in my truck. So it never is a fun feeling.
Have you got a spare yet?
No, I don't know. No idea where it is. It's like I'll lose them for like a few months and then I find them. But
I think I have 3 sets for my truck, and I've got them stashed away. Same thing with my wife's car. It's just like, it's one of those things you never want to be in that situation, but it happens. So,
oh, right. Yeah. The other funny one too is I think we were filming, I don't think it was that same weekend, but it was somewhere like that early to mid December. And it was like, I think Eric was with us in the beginning and we shot a couple roosters.
oh, yep.
It was just a tiny bit of snow. And then we're like, we'll do one more spot, the big
Yep.
push. And it was like a blizzard. And poor Rogan was like ready to just hunt all day long. And we're like, yeah, I think we're done. Because it wasn't only a blizzard, but it was that like ice storm thing we got.
I think that was the same day that I forgot the keys back in the truck, and we had to walk back because we were gonna park 2 vehicles.
That's right. That's
so
right.
We walked like a mile and a half and had to walk a mile and a half back to get the keys.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta love it.
And then I'm also trying to think too. There was we did that, and then there was also a day that we were planning on filming, and we're just like, it was a spur of the moment thing, and it was like just you and I, and we're like, yeah, let's just go hunt quick. And I think we shot 2 roosters, and if we would have had 2 more guys, we could have shot probably 6 roosters in a time span of like 15 minutes, and we didn't film any of it.
No, yeah, that was a oops on our part, but then the other, I mean, it was like kind of just got lucky a few times. Like shot 3 that one day that we got on film a little bit, and
yep,
yeah, it's you almost always it was definitely a learning experience for me. It's like one of those things where it's like you don't realize how fast you can burn through footage.
Oh yes.
So it's like you just never shut that camera off.
Yep.
Keep her going.
And kind of tied into what we're doing with the short film too, and we'll kind of wrap things up. But we are doing a really cool giveaway kind of with this, and we did something similar to this fall, and you guys were really receptive to it. And we're gonna probably give away some from free swag and maybe a couple other fun items that we will save for the giveaway. And we're really excited to tie this in with the short film. And I think we're looking to drop this one, I believe, on what's the date?
Well, this will drop. This episode's coming on the 5th, so the episode will drop tomorrow for you guys, the 6th.
Super exciting.
Yeah. So be sure, obviously you're probably digesting this wherever, either if it's YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Pod, or whatever else is out there. But yeah, if you're not on YouTube, go to YouTube and watch it, obviously. And if you're on YouTube, go to our Instagram to check out the post that's going to be the giveaway in of itself. So it'll be pretty sweet.
And then kind of break it down for like, what are we going to be throwing in for the giveaway? Not for prizes, but like, what are we asking?
Oh, just give us a follow on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube page, and just tag a couple hunting buddies, in the comments. Pretty simple. So if you do all 3 of those.
And I was going to say, and I think we're going to run this for probably 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yep. So do those 3 things quick and easy, and you'll get entered to win some pretty sweet prizes, I think. So be sure
Oh,
to check
cool.
that out. And yeah, watch the film, share it, do whatever you got to do. And, we appreciate obviously anything you guys do and watch. And, like you said, Evan, I mean, it's one of those things like you don't necessarily need to have a hunting dog to appreciate the bond between, you
Hmm.
know, man's best friend. Kind of one of those things where it's something special. God knew what he was doing when he created dogs.
Amen. Yeah, no,
Yeah, yeah.
it's a cool one. Go check it out, and like I said, share it with all your family that's got animals and got dogs. And if it really resonated, we'd love to hear your feedback too. I mean, this is something that we look forward to dropping maybe one or two short films a year on just unique stories that have happened in our lives that I think that would be better for the people to get on and watch it. So, and this is obviously it's fun for us to put together. And Rogan was a trooper through it all.
Oh
He's
yeah,
the main star, but yeah, once again, thank you guys for listening and tuning in, and really look forward to you guys checking out the short film.
yeah. Rogan, any last words? Should we go?
Go get
Keeps
them,
nudging.
Rogan. There's some birds.
Keeps nudging my leg. I'm sure he's gonna go out and go potty. So
Oh, well, cool. All right, well, guys, thanks for
good
listening
stuff.
again, and we'll see you next time.